Hello and welcome back, YouTube. So today I'm going to be going over kind of what the mid game looks like and just some random other facts that is notable to know. So in my last video, I talked about prestiging. So basically, what prestiging is reset your character to level 1. When you hit level 60, you talk to Chromie, and she resets you level 1. You keep essentially everything except for your skills, your talents, and any quests you completed are reset so that you're able to redo quests. This is Chromie right here. She's normally found near call boards in whatever capital city is yours. You talk to her. She gives a brief description of what, and then you prestige. Um, Keep in mind if you have multiple specs, whatever spec you are in when you prestige, that one is prestige. The rest are left alone. They're locked until you reach level 60, and then you're able to swap back into them. Prestiging is really important early game to reset to level 1, and then you can use your skill cards that I talked about in the last video. Um, so it's just all around good idea to do. At least I would say you need to at least do 2 to 3 prestiges. Once you hit that third prestige, depending on your luck with skill cards, you should have some kind of workable build that you can then start farming call board quest. You'll get in the PvE section. There's some kill quests. You go and do them. You farm them out. And you get a decent amount of marks that you can spend on various skill cards and rerolls to help perfect your build. Um, so moving on from that, I'm going to talk about different ways you can level. So there are there are numerous ways to level. You can level through professions alone. You can just quest in the open world. You can level through battlegrounds, and you can level through dungeons and through the new Mana Storm system. Mana Storms come highly suggested from me. It is even if you don't have a really good build, they are still good money. But if your build is truly not good, like if you have no AoE whatsoever, not even any cleave, then they may feel pretty bad, and battlegrounds might be where you want to go for your first couple prestiges. Um, Actually, arguably, I would say that your first prestige or two, you do want to do battlegrounds simply because there is a PvP Call to Arms battleground quest that will give you 12,000 experience plus whatever, or not experience, 12,000 honor plus whatever honor you get in the battleground. And this is important because you can actually buy your second spec and only second spec with honor. It takes 68.2k honor. You can get it from the honor vendors. Honor vendors are marked on your map in capital cities by this icon right here. Um, so I would actually level through battlegrounds first, just so you can get that second spec. Even if you're not going to use it right away, which I don't actually suggest using it right away, but it's good to get it early rather than later, just so you have it. So past that, I would then go for Mana Storms. Again, if you have some kind of AoE, tanks are actually really good for Mana Storm. I'm currently on my bear tank that I'm using to push Mana Storms. Um, but any just about any spec with some kind of AoE will do it. Will be all right for it. Um, the reasons I suggest Mana Storms is they are super, super good money. You just get money from mobs. You honestly you can get by with not looting any of the actual mobs and just open the chests that you get at the end. And that should be decent money. And I would save up for a let's see what's it called, the loot bot. Where is it? I got it right here on my bar, but so you can see right here, Lootbot. Basically what this does is you summon it. It's a non-combat pet that will AoE auto loot everything around you. So anything you kill while you have it out, it'll just automatically go into your bags. Um, I suggest having full 16 slots when you go through them. Otherwise, you'll fill up your bags in like 2 or 3 levels. Um, But that being said, if you get to the 5 level mark, so 6, 11, 16, and so on, every 5 levels, you'll save your Mana Storm level, and then you can go back to that level. If you see here, 1, 6, 11, blah, 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 so on and so on. So every 5 levels, if you need, pop out, sell, pop back in. And that's just that'll make you going from 10 to 60, because you can do Mana Storms at level 10 minimum. Going from 10 to 60, I see about 1,000 gold every time. Um, so I would use my first vanity item I would buy would be this loot bot. A lot of people suggest the Books of Ascension. No, not that one. Books of Ascension to train your spells. But if you're just doing Mana Storms when you pop out, you go and where is it? Class Trainer. If you track Class Trainer, you see all these yellow dots. That's somebody's Book of Ascension. You can just Oh, look, there's one right here. Oh no, this person's sitting right here. I could use theirs. I don't suggest going for that one because there's always someone standing around with one out. It's nice to have, but it's not one of the first things I'd go for. Past that, the treasure keepers. There's the celestial one. That's one of the newer ones. Or there is the where is it? Treasure Keeper, just straight the Treasure Keeper. Both of those, they basically give you access to in any town. They give you access to your bank. That's quality of life, but not necessary. The loot bot is probably the one that I would get first and foremost. Outside of that, there's really not much else you need in the way of vanity items. The Cogsley is a vendor or a non-combat pet that you can use to vendor stuff inside the Mana Storms. That's nice. I've yet to get that yet, but it can stop you from having to pop out and pop back in to sell. So it'll speed you up a little bit. That's kind of down on my priority list. I would get the loot bot. I would get the bags to like at least all 16 slots. Then I'd get the loot bot, and that'll help you tremendously to get more gold. And then with that gold, then you can think about getting the book of Ascension to train spells if you really want. But I would push that off and buy some golden skill cards um, to help round out your skill card collection. There's also heirlooms. I forgot to mention you can buy heirlooms with you can buy them with tokens of prestige, which you get 100 tokens of prestige per prestige, and then another 100 for completing the prestige daily. You can talk to Chromie right here, prestigious rewards, and then you can see all the prices of the heirlooms here. You can also buy them from this guy right here, Marks of Ascension rewards. You can also buy them for Marks of Ascension from him. I do not suggest doing this unless you plan on prestiging like 2 or 3 times in one day. Or if you plan on prestiging multiple times. Um, the reason being is it being that it costs Marks of Ascension, it'll put off your skill cards that you're gonna end up buying from Silas. So that's why I would put it off. Um, so, how do you farm Marks of Ascension, you ask? Well, you can get an okay amount from doing Mana Storms themselves. I think the other day I did like 20 or so levels, and I got like 5K Marks of Ascension, which isn't great, but isn't bad. It's passively you can do this forever and you can get some. Or there's the call board that I mentioned earlier, doing the PVE quest. That's probably the quickest way to get them in bulk. But the problem with doing call board quest is they're dailies, and you will eventually run out of them. So if you run through all of that, and you're like, well, how do I get marks now? I really the only other way is to do prestige trials. So like right here, just doing hardcore gets you 32K, 32.5K for prestiging as in hardcore. Um, Not everybody can do hardcore. So like you might want to pick something easier. Like I think Iron Man one death? I can't remember. Um, no, it's only one life. I swear there was one that wasn't one life. I think it's Nightmare. Um, Yeah, Nightmare is also really hard because everything like can one shot you, but if you die, it's not the worst thing ever, and you get almost 40k marks for doing that. So, but that's only as fast as you are leveling. That's when the heirlooms from earlier come into play. But I've got I bought one or two weapons. I bought a two-handed weapon and I bought a one-handed weapon, and I bought the trinket. You can redeem the trinket twice, so you buy it once, so you can get two of them. So trinkets are really good, and weapons are pretty good, especially if you're doing one hands. You can redeem it twice and get two of them. To redeem it, you just go to vanity. I would filter by known, and then heirloom, and then bam, heirlooms right here. Um, and you can just see all your vanity stuff right here as well. Let's see. So that's about it on the vanity items and the leveling. As I'd mentioned, any kind of tank build is really good. Honestly, I would find you a build that you like that does okay, and just prestige it. I suggest one with the light. It's one of the easiest slash best builds to roll with little investment. It literally only requires um the one with the light, one with the with the light. It only requires this card, which you can find it out in the world fairly easy. Um, it requires that talent, and then the only other thing you would absolutely need with it is Divine Storm, um, right here. That's the only other spell requirement, but it comes highly suggested that you have Seal of Command as well, as that hits pretty hard on auto attacks. So a 2 to 3 card maximum requirement just to make the build work. And it in this for this build specifically, it just working is like 1,000 to 2 or 3,000 single target damage, which is not great, mind you, but it will push you through content to farm stuff fairly easy, more than just throwing lightning bolt at something repetitively will. Um, and it feels pretty nice to play. It's got a lot of different ways you can go about it. You can make it more caster focused. You can go int based, or you can go strength based. However, if you're going to go strength based, I suggest having mental quickness 5 out of 5 if you can. It still works without it because, like I said in the last video, everything has AP and SP scaling. So it still works even if you're strength based without that. But with it, it's a lot better in my opinion. I think strength it scales better, but int is better in that it has less requirements to be good. Outside of that, um, I'm having great success with bear tank. Here's my skill cards. I use these skill cards, and I'm pushing mana storms really easily, really fast. You're tanky. You got good survivability, especially if you get like savage defense and stuff. Um, yeah, so really anything that's not a healer would be good for mana storms. I know some people do healers and mana storms and just find a group, but if you're into group play and you want to roll a healer, you can do it that way. Um, reckon that's about it for this video. If you have any other questions, let me know. Leave them in the comments. Leave me a like if you liked. If not, I appreciate you sitting around to the end. Yeah, peace.